University is like known to be the place for building the like upper echelon of the society. Like it was for elite for a long time. Now, Concordia is an open university. It is open to anyone, and mass education became really the thing of these days. Like the 60% of the high school graduates go to university these days. They may not complete all of them, but they start. 55% of the male high school graduates enroll. I think that this enrollment is really high, but then I think that it may become like 80%, 90%. Are the universities ready to really accommodate them? They're not, because university is still the place for separation of the good students from bad. So it serves as a, like, how do you say, separating machine of the students, so that the corporations can hire good students and discriminate the bad students. But university's role from the beginning to today has changed so much. Today, university is supported by the public funding, and it should serve the public purpose. And from that angle, I think the university students have to realize that they are subsidized by the community, society, and taxpayers so much, and they have to really pay back in the form of community engagement. There is a university in Louisiana, a state university, where each course requires the students to engage. But this is not done by creating the community service learning that I am doing, like course-related, subject-related service opportunities. But every time students complete their credit, they have to submit the voucher that they obtained by working in community organizations. And they have to deposit something like 20 hours worth of the voucher to really get the credit for the course. And the university distributes this voucher to the community organizations in the community, and students have to go to these places to collect them. So this becomes an interesting kind of a way of institutionalizing community service. I think this is based upon the understanding that community at large is in need of students to volunteer. Like if you look at the hospitals, most American hospitals cannot really function without volunteers. Volunteer workers are very important part of it. Elderly care facilities, likewise. The schools sometimes requires a lot of volunteer workers. And of course, you have a food bank or different activities surrounding the community that requires, like public pool may require a supervisor, like those people who watch the kids and so forth. And then, what better way of providing the public service by asking undergraduate students to engage in this as community service. So I'm hoping that this becomes the natural understanding. Like if you receive the service of the previous taxpayers and current taxpayers, then you gotta pay back to the community. So university has to have a mandate that students have to engage in community. I think there are many good things that comes out of this kind of requirement, even though it could be enforced, and it is not strictly volunteering, but rather community engagement as a part of the university life. Students will learn what it means to be a community member, not as an isolated, individualistic, egotistical, workers of the corporation to be. Like there are more important things than making money. There's a sociological research saying that above $70,000 incremental additional income does not make people happier. The happiness is not based upon how much money you have. It's not the exponential thing, but rather the helping other people, serving the community. These are the very important part of that happiness. So students can learn that. The community will become rich by having a multi-generational participation in some of the activities which often see only gray heads or a bald head. And having a different strata of a population coming in. Some students are from the rich family, some students are from poor family, but everybody engaging in the community action creates a sense of community regardless of the class. And of course, it promotes racial harmony and appreciation of the heterogeneous ethnic background and so forth. So all these are really good things. And it really enhances the university as a community too, because through the community engagement, university becomes not a collection of isolated individuals who see each other as enemies or the competitors to get the good grade, but rather they are in this thing together as the service provider to the community. Now, would it be possible to reduce our tuition fees? Maybe not. But then I think in the long run, it could create a much better institution of the university to be a member and productive part of the community. And am I looking for the post-capitalist way through the university? Yes, maybe, because by expanding the community engagement and the social economy activities, we might be able to imagine one day that we can really become sovereign, not in just food, sovereign in clothing, sovereign in buildings that you live in, housing sovereignty. You build everything by yourself, or you know who is making the drywall that you're using in your house. And all this sovereignty arriving would really replace our corporate reliance or corporate dependency. And so that could really enhance, you will not have a sick house if you know what building material went into your house. You are not really wearing the clothes that has sprayed with the fire retardant material that is carcinogenic. And you become really good at what your life has to really bring to you by this engagement. Well, going back to what do I think is the role of the university, I think we have to really place university into the context of the globalization and corporate domination. The university now is an instrument for the corporations to sort out workers from good to bad, and then discriminate those who are not really conforming to the norms of the university. You have to really work hard and compete with other students to improve your GPA. And that becomes the reason why people go to university. It's a job training in the elongated sense. But I think we have to really put an end to this corporate-dominated university by promoting community action and community engagement. So to me, by promoting the community service, I think this is one way of really preparing the better future for our next generation.